All right. Make some noise. We're back on the air again. So we got Joe and me. So we're gonna do a special. I want my girl. You want to give a shout out? What? And then with Joe. Hey, give a shout out. Let them know who you are.
Hey, my name is Lakira. I'm glad to be here on the Maurice and Joe Talk Show.
Yeah, and Joe, you want to say something?
What's up? This is Joe.
Well, today we're doing the audio on certain things. Let me call my man real quick. He's not here today, but it's all good. We still want to give him a shout out. You know what I'm saying? He's not here, but it's all good. And we're gonna talk to my girl, Kara. That's what I call her, and ask her a few questions on how things are with her. She's our manager / producer. All right, she's real cool. And Joe, you don't mind, right? You go in on her? Word. So we're gonna go in there. So I want y'all to do one more thing. Make some noise for the Karen. Come on, make some noise for the Karen. So, tell me a little about yourself.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to be here on the Maurice and Joe Talk Show, which he mentioned. I'm the manager / producer, but these guys do all the work. I just listen to what they have to say and give them my little ideas, but their ideas are much bigger than mine. So we've been doing, I think this is the 4th episode. This is the 4th episode, and it's getting better with time. We have some good topics on here, and the guys also learn a lot from the people that come on the show, and that's what it's about. It's about interviewing positive people in the community and seeing what they do and how they feel about certain situations and letting the world hear about it.
Next week, we're not going to be doing a show. We're going to New York to celebrate my boy's Maurice's birthday.
Shout out to me. Word up. Birthday bash. Everybody going to be there. I'm just playing.
We'll try to take some pictures and post them on our YouTube page.
So Maurice, what plans do you have for your birthday? What do you want to do?
I'm going all in. All right, but nonetheless, I want to have a still slow birthday. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people that's close to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's also the birthday of, well, not the birthday of the show, but when I have my birthday, when Joe or our manager have her birthday, it's all together. But so. I was sitting down with my man Joe and this other guy. He kind of like a preacher, and we were talking. About mental illness and how it affects people in their lives and how they live. So I want to get a feedback on the manager and Lakara and Joe, the other Joe's talk, Maurice and Joe's talk. So I want to get a feedback on them, what they think about mental illness and how it is, and what we can do. There's no care, but what we can do to make it better for people, or what we think to make it better for people, and what we should do when it goes down like that. I'm gonna hit it off with Joe first.
Sometimes with mental illness, people just judge you off appearance, your records. If people see your records, if you're in some kind of home, they should just judge you if you do something wrong. Like, if you do something crazy wrong, yeah, they have the right to, okay, he did this, that's messed up. But just to judge someone because they have mental illness, not all people that have mental illness are, cuckoo. Not all of them, but some of them are.
Well, in my opinion, the first step for people that have mental illness, well, you know what? Let me change that. It's not for the people that have the mental illness. It's more the people that don't have it, understanding it. because people fear what they don't understand. So when people hear that someone has a mental illness, or they see the different behavior from those that don't have the mental illness, they tend to, stare, say negative comments, or just plain ignorant about it. And I think the first step is understanding, because a mental illness is just like a little issue. Yeah, it's like a little. It's not even. It's like a little issue, but I mean, it's like when you get a cold, you get a cough. It's something like, it's just there. But like you said, it can't be helped. It don't go away. It don't. You're right. It doesn't go away. But it shouldn't be judged. Also, like everybody's still the same. Some people just have like a little problem that others don't have. So, I mean, like I said, the first step, I believe, is understanding it. Once you understand that people with mental illness are just like everybody else, they're no different. They just have like a little issue. No one's the same. Some of us walk different. Some of us talk different. Some of us learn different. Some of us learn faster than others, and some don't learn at all.
This is Maurice. I think that everybody got mental illness. People be flipping, man, but they're just not diagnosed. Like, people who got mental illness are lucky to be diagnosed so they can get some kind of like treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like that, but it all starts off like that.
It's funny you mention that about being diagnosed, because there's a lot of people that's out here has been diagnosed saying that they did have a mental illness, and I really don't think there's nothing wrong with them at all. Just because someone cries a lot as a kid and yells a lot as a kid, you can't run and say, oh, something's wrong with them. They're a kid. But then they wear this label from a kid to growing up, within in their mind they think that something's wrong with them, and really there's nothing wrong with them. So like you said, you have to, people label you, or sometimes the parents label the children. And like I said, I know a couple people that has a mental illness under their belt, like you said, and their paperwork says they did this and they did that. But then why? Sometimes situations cause people to go a certain way. Like you said, I know people who aren't considered to have a mental illness, but they act like they do. Life has brought them to this, But I mean, I guess it's all how you see it, all how you.
Let's say like they come from a bad setup when they were young, parents divorced, or only had one parent in the house, no father, maybe no mother with a father, and maybe it's the way they grew up or something like that. And that can also cause mental illness too, right, Joe? And maybe traumatized in their life, it's stuff like that. But there's help out there. There's medication as long as they take it. Even famous people got mental illness. Like you hear it all the time. These dudes kill themselves like boom boom, and they have everything. We have nothing. Well, I have some things, but I'm just saying, like, they're fucking. Oh, my bad. They're rich, but they don't have anything. They have all they want, and they still not happy. When you think about people that got no money, and we still manage because we know what it feels like to be nothing. So we could be rich and be nothing.
One thing about the medicine, Maurice said something about medicine. Some doctors, like the ones I had in the past, like to dope you up with medicine so you can't be yourself. And speaking of mental illness, I was diagnosed twice in my life with it. I have a kind of low messed up childhood. In high school, all the principals just look at me sideways, like, because I did some stupid things.
Yeah, student, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you get a lower grade than some people. Doesn't mean you don't know nothing, you don't know how to do nothing. You're a human being too, and you do stand out. You stand out, and maybe sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. It has its ups and downs, but I'm gonna tell you, we can still live like everybody else.
You're right, and I also agree that I feel like some that have mental illnesses are special, very special. Because a lot of people that have mental illness, you got me tongue twisted. A lot of people that have mental illnesses can do certain things that other people can't do. Like you guys said, you guys have mental illnesses, but no one could have never known if you didn't say anything, So it's like, mental illness is a really touchy topic, because it's like everybody has their opinion on what's a mental illness and how they feel about people with mental illnesses, and they don't think they can do that, and they think they can do that. But I'm here to tell them they can do anything that people without mental illnesses can do. You know.
I hear you on that, But even the people who don't have mental illness, like you hear, how many times do you hear about a mental illness person shooting up a school or bringing the gun to school, doing something with a gun? You know what I'm saying? These people don't learn this stuff overnight. Joe, I'm right? They don't learn this stuff overnight. The parents have to teach them how to use the gun, and the parents know. And sometimes the parents don't want to give them help. Sometimes the parents don't want to do nothing. They think everything's fine when everything is not. So then the kid gets, when he gets older, and then do stuff like that.
There's other problems, how Maurice said about the parents don't do nothing. There's always a problem when the parents do too much. They push their kids into things that they would never do. Tough. So when she was in college, she was doing drugs. And the reason, even my mother said that the reason why she probably did it was because he was so really strict. So if any parents are listening to this, don't be too rough on your kids.
I hear you, Joe. That's true. When I was growing up, it was a little difficult for me because I was young and all we did was go to church, and I mean church is good, but I had a problem and they just didn't see it. Then they thought everything was okay and everything was fine, but it wasn't. It wasn't fine. So like you said, sometimes it gets like that, where So. But I want to get a shout out to all the people that have mental illness and made it driving cars, have their own house, because there's a way for them to be proper in life and make it, And even if they do get diagnosed, something doesn't mean they can't work at Wendy's or Fridays or be I'm gonna say it like this, a fucking boss. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of people do not give people with mental illnesses a chance. All people with mental illnesses, all they need is somebody to love them and believe in them, and help them. They need help. They need special attention, and they want to strive. They want to, like you said, they want to work. They want to drive cars. They want to get married. They want to have children. They don't want to be treated differently. So, and I mean, I can dig it. I definitely can dig it.
Some of the mental illness is more serious than others. So some kids can never have families because it's so severe. Like my brother and sister, they have autism. They'll probably never have a normal life. They'll probably live in the group home for the rest of their life. Another thing about the parents being too tough, sometimes it's the kids don't want to say something and start an argument. Usually in families, there's always one parent that's tough and there's one that's soft. Normally. Not all the time, but if it was me and I want to talk to my stepdad about being too rough, I'd go to my mom. But for me, that didn't really work out because she always agreed with him.
Yeah, I understand that as well. But let me go off subject for a while. I'm gonna have Joe tell you why we do what we do here, at why we came up with the show. I know you know why. Yes, you do. He does. Yeah. And then we're gonna jump off the mental illness thing right now, and we're gonna come back to that. But I want people to know us better. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe, you want me to go first? All right. All right, check it. I'm Maurice Stevens. I live in a group home. It's not bad. It's not even a group home. It's like a supervisor apartment. And I go in every day. I try to make sure I'm happy and not depressed. And I know I ain't supposed to say this, but I'm single. Let's give an applause to that, to the single guys, yo. Yeah, I'm single, bro. And you know what? It feels good to be single. It's like a whole new world. Tell them, Joe, it's like a whole new world. I feel bad for you, but LaCara's about to get married, for real. Producer on the way. I'm telling you.
So you're happy to be single, huh?
Yeah, word. I'm happy to be single.
For now. One day you're going to want somebody to grow old with and have children. Little Maurice Juniors running around.
Make some noise for that.
Little Joe Juniors running around.
All right. Yeah, take you.
You don't see it in your future?
I want kids. Hey, I want kids. Who doesn't want? Joe, tell them.
I want kids.
That's right. We want kids. Can you imagine little Joe running around like? Joe, how would you treat your kids, man? Like, would you like?
I would treat them good, but I wouldn't punish them often. But if it was something little, let it go.
Hey, let me tell y'all something about that though. I seen this show. I was on the internet yesterday on an advisory show. Give it up for that guy. Yo, he go hard all the time. Give it up for him. But let me tell you something. I was watching and they had this girl. You had computers and whatnot, texting, whatever they do, right? But she put on Instagram that she was like 19 and she's only 10. Yo, word. And her parents posted a picture of her wearing a shirt saying that she has to wear. Yeah, right? Yeah. And you're saying that I'm 10 and I'm what you call it. I'm like, oh, word? Yeah, that's crazy. But what do you think about that, LaCara? You got a little girl.
That's kind of touchy. I mean, at 10, your parents should be knowing what you're doing at all times. You know, like you're 10, you shouldn't have any freedom. So, I don't know. Some parents work, they leave their children with other people who's not responsible, and they're able to reach out to people. You know, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she just got a Facebook page, which I know the password, and I'm checking every day. I have her blocked where no one can't find her. You know, only she can find friends and family of mine if they're on my page. You know, it's like certain levels because you have to watch out for other people. It's not so much your children, it's other people out here. So I just don't see how that can be possible. And it's true, a lot of these girls these days are looking much older and lying about their age and getting men in trouble. It's some girls that's out here that's 16, they're like 16, 15, they're telling these guys they're 25 and they are thick. And they are the makeup and the hair, and they're really looking older, and that's sad because they can really get someone in trouble who really thinks they're, you know, of age, and they can end up in jail. So, young ladies, stay your age, stay a little kid. Don't rush to grow up. Don't rush to pay no bills, because it's not fun.
Word up to that. Let me applaud her for that. Right? She was going in. She went in too. But you know what? Sometimes that's just the way it is. I want to touch on this subject about the world ending tomorrow. I didn't get to know this. All right, let's go in for that, yo. This is the world. All right, for those who don't know, you can check us out and see how we doing with our show. Let me give it to Joe because he's gonna tell you how to do all that.
On YouTube, search Joe and Maurice Talk Show. There's two. One is his personal one. Then we made our show for a page on YouTube.
Word. Hey, Joe, you been outside the country?
No.
Yes.
Where'd you go? LaCara, with you?
I've been in Japan. Mm-hmm.
Black people allowed.
I mean, you know what? You'll be surprised. It's black people in Japan. You gotta. Yeah.
Crazy.
I have to say this. There's black people everywhere. Where there's a way to get there, we shall be there.
All right, let me get touchy about this. Nowadays we know that let me blow the horn for this. We know that where there's police, there's brutality. Joe, I know how you feel about this, but I gotta talk about it. But let me tell you something. Like my man said in the advisory show, not all cops are bad, but some of them are good. I wanted to get Joe's take on it because Joe has this dude has an interesting taste with police. I'm about to go in on him. Okay? Now, we're gonna war for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Tell him.
What I don't like if someone calls cops and 4 cops show up or 5. You don't need that many.
I'm going. Oh, am I on the mic? Okay. I'm going to explain that. I went to school for criminal justice, and that was one of the classes that was one of the questions that we asked the professor. And him being a retired cop told us that when the cops pull you over, they radio in that they're pulling you over already. So all the other cops already get it in the radio. So it's up to them. Maybe they're around and they just come. They say, hey, we're pulling this car over. Possible this, possible that. That's it. So when all the cop cars get it, that's when they come. That's why so many come at a time. Because everybody wants to know that question. Like, why are all these people coming for just a headlight? But that's what happened.
Kara, I wasn't talking about when you get pulled over. And something about where I used to live in Plainfield. There was a group. This girl was always flipping out, and they used to call the cops. And they would show up, I'm not kidding, 5 or 6 cars for this one girl. I think that's abuse of power. Like, if you need backup, you'd radio, okay, I need backup. You don't need to bring, like, half of the squad because they could be out helping people in the community.
You in the police car, and that's it. You done.
Well, I have a this is how I feel about the police. I feel that some do abuse their power. I feel like some have bad days and take it out on you if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. I feel like, but then I also feel like a lot of the shooting that's going on with a lot of these kids, I don't want to say it's all police taking it out on black kids. I don't want to say it's all police just killing all the young kids. I don't want to say all of that because at the same time, you have to put yourself in a cop's shoes. If this guy's on the corner with guns and this and that, and he goes to, he's doing some type of gesture, you're going to pull your gun. I'm not going to say you're going to shoot 25 times, 50 times. That I'm not saying. That's just wrong. But you have to protect yourself. So you're going to be armed. You're going to like, it's really to get and not be gotten, basically. That's how you got to, I'm going to get you before you get me. Like, it's basically something like that. So if you pull a gun out on somebody, if somebody put the gun out on you, you're going to pull yours being a cop back out. And I think sometimes it gets out of hand, but that's not for every cop. Now, there are some cops that just like going around starting trouble. Hey, I'm a cop, so I could do this and I could do that. And that's where it's wrong. And that's where it's wrong.
I was on Facebook last night, and I saw this thing. It was pretty messed up. This kid on the football team was wearing a rosary. Cop told him to take it off. He wouldn't take it off. They arrest him.
Wait, hold on. What's a rosary? Oh. Joe, you don't even like wearing crosses like that. I'm just playing.
I mean, if that happened, that's wrong. You cannot tell anybody what to wear. Like, that's what they want to wear. That's it. Yeah, that's not right.
Not all cops are bad, though. And sometimes the good cops can't say nothing because the bad cop will get on them. Yeah, but for wearing some type of jewelry, what the fuck? You can have. I know this guy that has a store, and he put Christmas. Ask Christmas. In the story, you know how many people get mad about that? I would get mad too. And the cops show up and they tell the guy to leave, but they keep the thing up. Like, how does that happen? You know? It's crazy, yeah? You alright?
It's a freedom of speech.
My grandfather says there's no such thing as freedom of speech anymore.
This country we live in nowadays, I don't think so either. It's state police.
It's a freedom of speech, but it's a freedom of speech, and then when you get someone mad, it changes to something else. So that's why it's not really a freedom of speech. Like, even with cops, if you talk back to a cop, you're allowed to say what you want to say, but they're going to change it. You know, like, they're going to change it where you didn't talk back, you did something else. So that's when it's just better to be quiet sometimes.
I got something off topic. It's about a little bit about racism and what's kind of unfair for some people. Like, some people can say this person, but if you say it to them, you're in jail. I think it should be a two-way street. If someone could say it to you, they should get in the same trouble as you would.
You guys feel like there's a lot of prejudice still going on?
Yeah, I do. I just don't think it's fair. I know there's probably always going to be someone, but I don't think it's fair if someone says a racist to this person, and then you say it back to them, and then the cops are arresting you, but they're not arresting that person.
That's true, but I'm gonna go back to mental illness on that one. It's like if you have mental illness, you can't really defend yourself. Like if somebody who doesn't have a mental illness is walking down the street and they see you, they can say whatever they want, and the cop's probably going to believe them and not you because you have that mental illness status. You have that tattoo on the back of you that says "I'm different."
Another thing about mental illness, when I was a kid, it's probably the reason why I don't like church to this day. My parents would force me to go. I can't sit through church. I can't sit for like 2 hours anywhere. I had to get up and stretch. So every Sunday we had to keep going. I didn't have a choice. And finally I got fed up and said, I'm not going.
All right. Let me see the next subject we're going to talk about is losing weight. I don't have the facts in front of me. If you want me to get it in front of me, I could tell you there's a lot of overweight people, and especially people with mental illness, because the medication can make them bigger than what they are.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Two of the meds I'm on, they cause weight gain. I tried to talk to the psychiatrist more than once. He goes, you know the deal. It's every 2 months. If you do good, we'll lower. But by the time we're done lowering the meds, I could be big as a house.
Well, I mean, some medications, they do that. But there's always working out. I know it seems like a lot because you guys looking like, oh. But there's always... But you know what? It doesn't take much to work out. I mean,
I worked out before. For like 2 weeks. I ate a couple days and I gained it all back.
Well, it takes time. You know, it takes time to lose weight. You know that, but you got to stay on a pattern. You got to, it doesn't even take a lot. You can start with 30 minutes a day, just walking around the block, just something or changing one thing. Like if you drink soda, cut all sodas out. You can start easy. You can take baby steps. Like I had a friend who wore almost 300 pounds. She lost 100 pounds in like a couple of months just by cutting off sodas. That was it. She wasn't changing her eating habits. She just cut off soda because sodas help you gain a lot of weight. And then after the sodas, she started drinking water. Then she cut off sweets. Now she cut off 2 things, sodas and sweets. No. Come on, she wasn't 300 pounds. That's a friend. So, so it takes, and I know it's easier said than done because we all try. Like we go them first 2 days and they're like, I know you. I need a soda, but I stopped. I used to drink Pepsi. No, I used to drink Pepsi every day, and I just cut Pepsi out. I just buy a water or a iced tea. Iced tea is probably not that much different. It depends what kind, because I get the green tea.
Speaking of Pepsi, there's this article on Facebook. Someone had a Pepsi can, cut it open, and there was some kind of black stuff in it. And the new Pepsi, I had it about a couple months ago. I had it open in the car for like maybe 10 minutes and went flat.
Yeah, I cut soda out. I try to cut soda out. I try to do iced tea, but the green tea. I mean, it still has a little bit of sugar, but it's not as much as soda. Soda's a lot. No, I don't drink energy drinks. Now I'm down to water and green tea, and hot tea. I drink hot tea.
Let's go in for Lucera. She drink hot tea. No, I'm just saying. All right. Since we on the subject, why? What do you think is bad about alcohol? Because I know this lady right here is a touchy subject, but I'm going for it. You gotta hear me. Let's give him applause for that one. We going in about alcohol. Are you hearing me? Word is bond, okay? We're going in. But let me tell you something. This Lucera doesn't even drink nothing. Wait. One more silence for that. All right. Okay, you are young. You're probably in your 20s, and you don't drink. You don't drink occasionally. Nothing.
I mean, I never was into it. I don't drink. I never did drugs. I never did anything. I'm just happy off of life. Just being able to live my life till it's golden. I go to I like to dance. So if I'm going to the club, I'm dancing. I'm a homebody. Give me some movies. You know, Maurice. We could name quotes from movies all day. Give me some movies, and out in the house. And do you feel lucky, punk? Do you feel lucky? Like I'm a movie person. I don't. And when I do go out to a birthday party, I'm just dancing and having fun with the people I'm there with. I don't drink. I mean, I've never drunk, and I have no reason to.
I got some. She was talking about drugs. Okay, here we go. When I was 14, I was kind of wild. Not as wild as I am. I'm not that wild anymore. My friend told me he had weed. It wasn't really weed. It was tea. We snorted it. Okay, my friend, this is really bad. I'm happy it wasn't really coke. It was actually baby powder. I'd probably be dead now, but I snorted that. Then he finally did give me weed, and then I was so happy that I told my mom like a couple years later, but the staff did not tell my mother. They were really supposed to. They didn't tell her, so I told her a couple years later, and she goes, "Oh, the staff never told me that." I go, "Because I asked them not to." I do drink occasionally. Not every day, but whenever I feel like it.
I always say this. You're gonna turn me into alcoholic. Hey, this is your boy Maurice speaking. But let me tell you something. I don't drink, but we've been doing something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that woke looking kind of guy. No Hennessy, no Corona, no none of that stuff. I don't get down like that. I'm trying to be like Lucera, the manager over here, to be alcohol free, but it ain't happening. I'm the employer for that one. Okay, I'll stop.
I feel if you're already in your 20s and your 30s and you never needed a drink or never had a drink, there's no need to start now. You've been living your life the way it was. It's been perfectly fine. You already grew a personality. You don't need to drink to be cool. You're just who you are. So if you haven't been drinking, I don't think there's no reason to start now. And even if you have been drinking, it's always time to stop, because we know what it does to the liver. Smoking is also smoking is a touchy topic, because cancer is so big right now that I don't even feel comfortable. I mean, I hear how smokers are. I hear that if you've been smoking for so long, it's just and personally, I feel like smoking is like a drug. It's addictive. I see people I see people outside on lunch breaks and 0-degree weather just have to get that smoke. I see people having attitudes because they don't have cigarettes. They're ready to almost like how a fiend would do, like just people that smoke cigarettes. But then I'm seeing the killer is I'm recently was at a cancer hospital visiting someone, and I'm seeing people still trying to smoke, like even after they finished, either the cancer was removed or either they're going to treatment, they're still smoking, like they just don't care. It's just that addictive, and that's kind of sad that you put your life on the line for this cigarette. Because I know people say, oh, it can't happen to me. It can't happen. It could happen to anyone. You know, cancer's big out there. So if you can't stop smoking, quit it.
Can't you go to something else like? Well, it's hard because if you stop smoking, you want to eat more, you get fat. If you want to drink, it's not good for your liver. But like, what do you do?
I want to make this clear because I don't smoke. I know people are probably saying, you don't even smoke. Shut up. I don't smoke. And I don't even know how it feels to smoke, but I just know how it feels to live. I know some people want to live to see their children grow up. Some people want to live to see their grandchildren grow up. And smoking will not get you there. I mean, some have been lucky, but some have not been lucky. And to see that people get this bad disease that can't be cured and still continue with their life on the line is like, it's sad to me. But I mean, like I said, I always hear all the time, it's hard to quit. It's really a bad habit to kick. So that's why if you're not really deep into it and you didn't start it, don't start it. Cause I hear, like I said, it's really hard to get rid of.
I am a smoker, yes, but I'm not, how can I say it? Franklin is most. Like, if it's too cold outside, I won't go out and smoke. If it's too hot outside, it has to be comfortable. Or if I'm waiting for a ride outside and I got time to kill, I'll have a cigarette. A pack lasts me 2 weeks. Sometimes when I'm at my job, if my friend needs a cigarette, I give him one. That's why I've been running out probably in like half a week, because I've been giving them to people.
Well, you seem not to smoke that much, so maybe it is hope for you to maybe quit one day. Cause I mean, it's not like, because I know people that smoke a pack a day. I know people that smoking, they're almost smoking 2 packs a day. That's somebody that I don't think can quit. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it. But I just can't see someone wanting to quit if they're going to 2 packs a day. But you say a pack lasts you for 2 weeks, so you may just be doing it because you're just used to doing it. You may not even, if you try to quit, I believe you can stop.
It didn't turn out very well. This is off topic, but we're talking about when someone can't have a cigarette, it's like withdrawal. I was at my mom's ex-boyfriend's house and I was getting picked up to go back to my old group. When I get there, I'm leaving, so I didn't take my meds. That day before, my mom's ex-boyfriend wouldn't let me come out of the room, wouldn't let me eat nothing. So I had to pay for my own food. So I was pissed I didn't take my meds again. The next morning when I woke up, I could not even walk. People's voices sound different than me. I had the worst withdrawal ever from my meds. And there's like, I think 8 pills total in 2 days. So I couldn't even walk straight. I was like limping. The worst headache in the world. I'm pretty sure it was worse than a hangover. Anybody who had a hangover knows.
Don't do drugs.
Hangover, your head hurts, everything. Whoever has one know what I mean. This was worse than a hangover. No.
Yeah, let me tell you something. And these little kids are slick to try to get high too. I'm not throwing it on subject, but there's a new thing out where if you drink, no, I'm saying if you inhale, or nutmeg is really bad for people who try to get high off of it. Trust me, I know. All right. Back in the day
when I was a kid, people were sniffing permit markers.
Let's talk about football. What's y'all teams? Because I'm Team Giants all day, every day. I bleed blue all day, every day.
Well, my favorite color is green, so There you go, Costco. And let me tell you something. It's all about the Jets. Let's give it applause for the Jets. Yes. All right. Okay. Well. Yeah. Jets. Hey, what's your favorite team, Joe?
Giants.
What about
They're awesome.
like the color?
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're a good team.
What do you got? You don't even know. Yeah, so let's give it up for everybody who participated in the whole movement we had going on and how way we do our thing. Let's give it up for Joe. Give it up for Joe. All right. Let's give a big ups for LaCara. That's good. All right. Let's give a bigger up for Maurice. Yeah. Word. All right. Yo, we're gonna wrap it up, and I want to get the insight from everybody who's on the who was talking today, LaCara. I'm sorry we didn't have no guests, but we'll have one next time we do it. Next week probably. And I want to know everybody who participated in this whole thing. Our manager Joe and everybody else who made this possible. I'm gonna say it, CAU, and all right. I'm gonna get the last in on everybody.
I just want to say thank you for watching the show and listening. It will get better. This just started out of Maurice just woke up one day. Him and Joe said they wanted to do a show, and we just started, and it's been doing really good. And back to the mental illness thing, just really quick. If you know anybody who has a mental illness and you feel like you can't give them the treatment they need, and you think that they need to be somewhere else that could push them and to do better in life, send them.
Another thing for parents, don't blame your kid if they don't get along with their stepfather. Like, mine was not a nice person. We were always butting heads. My mother always chose him over me, and I've been in the system since I was 14.
All right. With that said, we're gonna wrap it up. All right, but we're gonna take this and we're gonna wrap it up with I want to get another intake on LaCara real quick. Go ahead, LaCara. You all right, man? Tell me what you're doing next week.
Well, we have some special guests coming up soon. We have one who's she's an all-around adventurer. Well, next week we won't be here. We'll be in New York, but maybe we will do a show before the Sunday. We may record one before then and post pictures as well. We're celebrating Maurice's birthday. Woo woo! So with that being said, we have a lot of guests that's going to be coming on the show soon. We have a hiker, a correction officer. Like I said, we're just here to interview positive people in the community and let you know about them and how they feel and what they do.
All right. Yeah, thanks. I want to thank everybody for being on the show. I need y'all to do one more thing. All right, one more thing. I need y'all to do one more thing. I'm coming like Jay-Z. Do one more thing. Make some noise.